3, 2, 1.
In this video of practical tips for rocket engineering, we're going to show you how to change an empty bottle. So first of all, you've got to make sure that you're wearing the right PPE. Okay, in this case, I'm wearing goggles just to make sure if there's any escape of gas as we release, as we take the connectors off. If there's any dirt or debris, it doesn't fly into our eyes. I'm also just protecting my hands and also my my clothes with lab equipment as well. Also, because we're dealing with heavy bottles, we're going to be making sure that we're wearing appropriate foot gear. Make sure that you're wearing steel toe-capped shoes as a minimum. So, first of all, we want to make sure that the bottle connector is closed, okay? So bottles will either have a connector which needs a spanner, to a special bottle spanner to close it, or they will come with basically a twist knob. Okay, so make sure it's in the closed position. Okay, that's firmly closed. You also want to make sure that your gas in your feed system, okay, is also depressurized. So make sure that the lines in here, there's no gases in there. So in this case, we've got our feed line coming through a valve into our gauge. Okay, and especially on the outside, if your gas bottles are mounted on the outside, just give your gauge a couple of taps, because sometimes they don't fare too well in the weather, especially the cold weather, and they can sometimes seize up. So just give it a couple taps, okay, and make sure that your pressure is, or your system is depressurized. Now that we've checked that, we're pretty confident that we can now take this apart. Okay, so as you take this apart, there might be a small amount of gas released, but ideally there should be nothing coming out. In this case, we're all fine. So as you disconnect it, okay, just make sure we're all fine here, making sure to protect any bottle connectors with the right protectors on them. Now that we've got our bottle free from any pipe work, we're going to use our tag system, okay, to ensure that we know the condition of the bottle at any one time. So in this case, the bottle is now empty. Okay, so we just take our tag off, and we now know, for anybody who's looking at the bottle clearly, that it's now an empty bottle. You could use tags like this, which you can buy in from places like RS or BOC, or you could just make up your own system as well, okay? That way it's very clear to everybody what state your bottles are at any one time. You're also going to put protectors on your bottle as well. Okay, as you can see now, okay, our bottle is mounted to the wall, okay? And in this case, what we're going to do is now release the bottle. Now, a few important things before we move the bottle. We want to make sure that there's clear, ample space, working space around, and that this operation you don't do by yourself, okay? You're always doing it with at least one person around to help. So in this case, we've got Nabil. Nabil, would you mind coming and joining us? The most important thing here, okay, is always to make sure that at least one person has one hand on the bottle at all times, and make sure that there is good communication between the two. So first of all, start off by explaining what you're going to do. So Nabil, what we're going to do is we're going to move the bottle here onto the trolley, okay? And by doing that, we're going to disconnect the guard chain, and we're also then going to take it out from its holder as well, okay? And then once we do that, we're going to start rolling the gas bottle around. So now that we're ready to move the bottle, okay, first of all, we've got to make sure that we're wearing the right PPE, okay, when moving. And one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to wear our heavy duty gloves. So myself and Nabil will wear our gloves, making sure they're nice and firm on. Now we've got our heavy duty gloves on, okay, are we good? Okay, so we're now going to take the bottle off the guardrails. Okay, so be nice, clear with your instructions. Nabil, would you mind holding the bottle whilst I take the guardrails off? So first of all, the chain. And then the holder. Okay. Now that we've got those off, okay, we're now going to move the bottle. Okay, so when you move a heavy bottle like this, okay, what we want to do is we want to make sure we've got one hand up around the bottleneck at all times, and the other hand is to guide the bottle in its movement. So we're just going to twist it around nice and slowly, and we've got our second person close by just in case anything was to happen. So Nabil, would you mind coming close? The second person doesn't necessarily need to be doing the one moving, but they will have their hands out ready, okay, just in case things go wrong. So we're just going to move it nice and slowly, rolling it, making sure we've got two hands on the bottle at any one time. And then as soon as we're in a position where we can get our trolley in, we want to get it onto the trolley as soon as we possibly can. So, Revanth, if you want to bring the trolley in. So thank you very much. Let's roll that on. Okay. So, Revanth, if you want to move out of the way. Once the bottle's on the trolley, okay, yet again, we want to put the guardrail on, that it won't fall off when left unattended. And then moving the trolley, okay, make sure you've got two hands on the trolley, and there we go. Okay, so now that we've got a new bottle and we've brought it safely into our gas cage, we're now going to roll it up against the wall. So Nabil, with your hands out, thank you very much. So we're going to move it on. And then we're going to connect up our gas bottle chain. Okay, and then we're also going to put the guardrails on as well. Okay, so the bottle is now nicely secure up against the wall. We've got our guard chains and guardrails in. Okay, so we now can freely take our hands off. And the last thing to do then is to put our gas bottle tag on for us to be able to know exactly what state the gas bottle is in at any stage. Thank you.